The time has come. This old beast is going to have to be taken apart, stripped down. I'm going to do the lock on this new box later. After remeasuring, I'm going to have to do some slight modification. I'm going to straighten out the axle a slight touch to give a little more gap between the tops of the wheels, because they are canted. They are angled. So I'm going to have to straighten out the axle a little bit, give a little more space between the wheels at the top so that that'll fit in there. Other than that, just going to be a matter of taking the whole thing apart, including this piece that I made previously. Lid. I can't say too much bad about it. I mean, it's lasted me 9 years. Bought it off of Craigslist for $50. Had to rebuild it a few times, but, well, the frame is still good, so I'll use that. This top, though, I mean, stretchy and floppy. Doesn't hold together well. It's meant to fold up. So, all the moving parts and extra pieces and hinges and such are all weak. But the frame's solid, so I'll start stripping that down and show you how it goes. So you can actually get it in there and turn it. Now, there's our bumper. And a couple more rubber spacers. Now what I'm going to do with that, back to screwdrivers. I missed. That is very stripped down. Now that I got a flatbed trailer. Alright, I don't know that I'm going to be able to save these, but I'm going to try. Pretty rusted on there. Those are the ones I could actually use if they are salvageable. I can replace the bolts on them if I can get them out, screws, with the ones off of the front reflectors, because I don't need those. There. But back reflectors on the trailer would be a good idea. I mean, it's a bicycle trailer. There's no real need for them, but they're a useful thing to have. There. We'll save these buckles. A number of times I've needed to replace a buckle on a backpack or something. You're good. All right. So now that we're down to the frame, let's lay stuff out and see how it's going to look. First, yeah, you can see where that was broken, where I fixed it, kind of. I put an L bracket there. There's nothing else going to attach there. That'll be mounted from 3 sides, not just 2. The other 3 I may or may not cut off, depending on how they sit. If I remember correctly, this is going to have to sit 8 inches ahead. Oh yeah, that lays in nice. 8 inches ahead of the front of the trailer. Doesn't put it that far up. There. So that's where it's going to sit. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. Mounts up good and even. Sits well. Okay. I'm going to put the wheels on there and then sit it together again and see what happens. So here we are, positioned on the frame where it's eventually going to be, which is all well and good. Looks like it's going to work. Except for one minor problem. It's touching the tires. Now, I do have a couple of options here. I could try and straighten the axle a little bit, take the cant out of the wheels, which I'm iffy on, but it might work. I could trim this edge out. Line it all up with here and trim that edge out, that lip, at least back to here. That might be easier. I'll trim this off right there, just vertical from here, go straight up, match up with this one. Do that on both sides and it'd all fit and there wouldn't be a problem. I'm thinking that might be the way I go. So that's my next step. But now that the trailer's all taken down, I have to finish this today so I can use the trailer tomorrow. Okay, I'll work on that. When I make the decision, well, I've made the decision. When I got it all put together, or all cut up, I'll bring you back and show you how I'm going to assemble this thing. Okay, now that that problem's dealt with, just cut off the excess. Still looks fine. Everything fits. Plenty of room. Now that that's dealt with, we move on to the next problem. That being attaching the whole thing together. For this, specifically, I still happen to have this set up. There's 4 of these. I used to attach this to the roof racks on a car. There's that plate. These little screw brackets. These go underneath, the plate goes on the inside, pops together and screws down. I'm thinking reversing it, so this goes on the bottom, underneath the trailer, and keeps sharp edges from being inside against whatever I'm carrying. So, it'll be like that. I think that'll work out well. Yeah, I think that'll work out well. So I just gotta find the spots, on the trailer frame where there are hard points to mount to, and use those. This is pretty much where it's going to be. It's sitting pretty much where it's going to be. I might be able to move it a little forward depending. I have to find out height and distance wise where everything's going to sit against the back of the bike. But yeah, because this is 8 inches from the front of the frame is measured for where the fender is, but the fender is down here. So I might be able to go a little further forward, make it a little more balanced, which would be a good idea, I think. I believe. Okay, so I'll do that measurement, and we'll reposition everything, center it all up. Well, yeah, the trailer's kind of this way to the box being kind of this way, but we'll, level, center, straighten, even it all out, get the right measurements, and start drilling holes and putting it together. All right, so whoop, we got it all laid out, lined up, straight and even, where it needs to be. It's all balanced. It's marked on the bottom as to where it has to lay together. Next step, before I drill the holes and attach it, is I have to do some work on this corner again. It's still kind of wobbly, that attachment point there. So I want to do that. If you recall from the last time we worked on it, I don't know if you recall or not, or if you saw, but it's held together with a plumber strap and self-tapping screws. I'm going to have to rebuild that, put some angle brackets in it maybe. Proper bolts going all the way through. So we'll take all this down. We'll take it all apart. Well, it's not really together yet, but we'll take it all apart. We'll put everything... we'll take it all apart. We'll take the wheels off of it. We'll lay that thing up on the table, and we will reinforce that little attachment point. Once that's done, we'll flip everything over, drill the holes, and put it together. I'll show you when I'm working on that hitching point. Okay, so this piece here is supposed to be welded on, but it's broken off. And we do have a good solid angle bracket on this side, but all we got here is a piece of plumber's tape. On this side, right there, we got a piece of plumber's tape, and that's not that tight. So I'm thinking we take another shelving bracket. Self-tapping screws seem to be the answer to this problem again, but I'm going to put 4 of them in this time, right there at that 90 to hold this thing up. Tap a couple of holes in, screw it into place. Should work, I hope. Okay, I'll do that, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I tightened that one and that one. We weren't in quite all the way. Put angle bracket in there with 4 more in it, and that ain't going anywhere. I couldn't shift it with a hammer. So that's solid. Now that I got that put together, let's try and lay this thing upside down with the round part on the bottom, which is a dumbass fucking idea. But there's no other way to do it. So we'll lay that upside down, lay this on top of it, mark where I got to drill. And from there, we'll see how well this goes. Okay, well, the kitty's hiding. She seems to like my kneeling pads to lay down on. Those are squished in to keep this thing from rocking back and forth because the top is round, which doesn't make for a good thing to lie upside down. So I got these brackets in, sitting where they're supposed to be. lined up with the flat on the front and back. So I'll drill one of those holes and we'll see how good this is or how bad this is. I'm gonna drill 8 holes. I'll show you the first one just for the sake of my own sanity. There. There. I think I didn't hold on to that. Line that up where it's visible. Straight as can be. Here, go down. We'll look for 2 layers of plastic this time. And it's hard. Let's see. That drops in the way it's supposed to. Any of these come off faster? Yes. As long as that drops in where it's supposed to and doesn't shift or move anything anywhere, then we're good. This will obviously be the one on the still where it's supposed to be. We have a success. So, well, with that just sitting there to hold it, I'll drill the other 6 holes and I'll flip it over and put it together. Okay, so got all the holes drilled. Everything's lined up. Everything is where it needs to be. Now the hard part, getting it attached. As I said, it's all marked and lined up where it's supposed to be. So what we gotta do is take one of these U-bolts for the inside, because that's the only thing that's going to be exposed to whatever I'm carrying. Put a plate on the outside, it'll go like that. And then it's hand screws to hold it all together. What that'll allow is, if I ever just need a flatbed again, I'll have it I'll be able to take this apart if need be. Well, come on, start, you cocksucker. Push it in there as far as I can, see if I can get this started. There we are. Got one of them started. Line this up and get it in there. Plastic on the bottom of this flatbed section is warped to hell and back. Get this in there. Crank it down as far as I can. Just that rubber coated U-bolt on the inside. There's no chance. Yeah, that ain't straight at all. It means there's no chance it's going to damage anything that I carry inside of it. Do the other one. One on the back here. Then I can flip it over and do the other side. Yeah. Come on. I know you fit. went in there. Can't exactly spin the bolt to get it in. Got to get that pushed through enough. Then it'll take the bolt, or take the nut, after this plate. Nope. Well, if brute force don't work, you ain't using enough of it. Come on, start, cocksucker. There. That started. This one started. Once it started, it's no problem at all. Just getting them there. Crank these down further as necessary. Flip this over to the other side, and I'll show you the inside of it. Okay, so got those brackets put in place. As you can tell, some of them are sitting a little off angle, but they're lined up with where they're supposed to be. The rivets are lined up with the lines on the plastic. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to look. So they're all where they're supposed to be. I'll just put the wheels on it, flip it over. I'll put the hitch bar back on it. That's all reinforced. And I'll see what it looks like so far. I think all I have left to do now is the lock. Yeah, put the reflectors on the back, what the hell. So yeah, I'll do all that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. There we have it. Got reflectors on the back, so it's all safe. I know the top of it is lower than the turn signals on my bike. The lock on the front. It works. Opens and closes properly. Key's a bit of a bitch, but there it goes. You have the key in too far or not far enough, it's not going to work. Okay, so there we have a completed trailer. Balance is nice. Well, balance is relatively nice. It's not too long or too short. 12 cubic feet instead of 9 cubic feet with the previous box. All that's left now, other than bringing this outside and locking it up, is cleaning up my mess. Alright, like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this type of thing, and talk to you next time.